thought I'd talk about starting with the ukulele, your choice of ukuleles when you start, beginners ukuleles if you like. And thought I'd dress the part, Hawaiian shirt and a hat. Doesn't make you play any better, but you can try and look the part, can't you? What we'll often do is we'll go to our local shop and buy a cheap ukulele. Most shops have them at 20 to 30 pounds. I bought this one, this was about 30 pounds. They're painted, they're not made out of particularly decent woods, and you know, they're not terrifically good. Don't cost you a lot of money, but it's probably not going to last you. You'll get into your ukulele playing and quickly move on, as I did. So I bought this one because it was my first one. I've since had it signed by the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain and it's officially retired. The first thing what I found out very quickly was the strings on it weren't that brilliant. So I went and spent another £8 or £9 on strings. So by the time I'd finished, this had cost me about £38. It's okay. But if I compare that with a concert ukulele, so here's one that costs an extra £11. And this comes fitted with the same strings as I fitted here. So this has already got some decent strings. Now, the difference here, I mentioned this was a concert, this is a soprano. So they're just subtly different sizes. That's important because what you don't want to do is get frustrated. I was getting frustrated with a few chords early in my playing. The D chord I found particularly difficult. It involves putting 3 fingers into 1 fret, which, you know, these are quite small instruments, and getting those 3 fingers in there can be quite tricky. Some people can do a bendy finger thing, which as you advance ukulele playing you might be able to do. If you're lucky and your fingers bend back, you might be able to do that. I can't personally, so I have to put 3 fingers in 1 fret for a D chord. The good thing with a concert is being slightly bigger. There is just a few extra millimeters in that fret, so it's just easier to get your fingers in for that D chord. The other thing that a concert has is a slightly bigger body, so it just has a bigger sound to start with and doesn't suffer with some of the tinniness that's sometimes associated with soprano ukuleles. Here's another one I bought. This I got from a discount store and it cost me £15. I put Aquila strings on it again, so add another £8 or so. It's slightly out of tune, I'll explain why. You know, it sounds okay, but the finish on this is really horrible. It's sharp down here. It's not so nice to handle. The other thing from the beginner's point of view is this has what they call peg tuners. And they're okay when you get more advanced with the ukulele. But just tuning them, if you turn them very slightly, it retunes the strings a lot. Now on the more expensive uke, you'll get geared tuners. They're much easier to tune because you'll give them 1 turn and they're geared in a sort of 6:1 or 8:1 ratio. So as I say, standard cheap painted uke. By the time you've done, put some strings on it because the strings they come with frankly are horrible and will just annoy you and you'll give up the ukulele, which you don't want to do. So by the time I'd done, that was about £38. This one retails at about £49, much nicer, proper wood finish, decent strings on it to start with. Or this one, really nicely finished, £77. Slightly out of tune, but you know, very nice sound on that, and comparable with the other one. So when you start, you know, it just might be worth investing just a little bit more in your ukulele to start with, because you'll have something that you can keep. I mean, if I bought one of these to start with, I'd probably still be playing it now. I'd be perfectly happy adding one of these to my collection, and I'd be playing it rather than having retired this one. and frankly this one got used for testing some strings, and if we have some friends' children around, I'll give them that to play with. So not really worried about that at all. So just consider it might be worth spending just a little bit more and getting something decent to start with. So there you have it. Some advice for beginners ukuleles.